It's now possible to easily farm basalt automatically without a pick or explosions or even a player online. Hello there, Ray here, and the way you can easily get tons of these 3 cool basalt blocks is by going into the end dimension. And then from here you can go ahead and clear out some endstone to make room to build this, or just find a side that doesn't have as much. Then we're going to use water to go downwards underneath of the farm. We're going to place in 2 blocks like this, and then we can go ahead and remove the water, and then we're going to go outwards towards the empty area over here. A total of 4 blocks, and then at this location we're going to come in and place in a row of 5 blocks the same length as the obsidian platform. Then we're going to place in another row which is 1 block up and over like this, and then we're going to place in 2, and then another 2, and then the final 2 right here. Then we're going to come in with repeaters. We're going to have one on full delay, another one on full delay, and then the opposite direction we're going to have a full delay one, and then one on 3 delay. Then we're going to fill this in with some redstone dust, as well as here and all the way down here. And then we're going to start this clock by placing a lever over here, and then we're just going to flick it really quickly. And if you want to turn off the farm, you just break this redstone dust here, and then when the power goes out, just place the redstone back in again. And then this is going to power sticky pistons that we're going to place on top of this redstone right down here. Then we're going to come in with some blue ice. It has to be blue ice. It cannot be packed or normal. Then we're going to place a block here, and then place in our soul soil. Once again, it has to be soul soil and not the soul sand. And then we're going to fill in this here, and now we're going to place in the lava. Before we do that, we're going to place some blocks around the edge here to hold the lava in. Take it all the way to here and right there, and then we're going to do the same thing on this side. Take it from here all the way to the edge of the obsidian. Now put in your 5 lava sources across the entire thing, and they're going to reach across, and then they're going to start converting these empty slots into basalt. And then those basalt is going to start getting pushed out and pushed this direction. Now at this point you can come in over here on this side and place an extra block here, as well as one over here so no items flip out. Now we're going to come and build in the storage system. That is where we're going to connect onto the farthest down block. That is way down here, so just shift click and place a block down there. And then from down here we're going to build away from the platform 2 blocks, and then we're going to do the same thing on this side over here. Now we're going to come in and place in a double chest here, and then we're going to place another one that is just over here like this. And then we're going to connect the 2 by placing a hopper going from this one into that one. Then from here we're going to place in a block where we're going to have a comparator, and then that comparator is going to push its signal into another block, which is going to be over here, which is going to take the signal upwards into a block that is right above it, which is then going to push its signal into this redstone dust right here. And that comparator is going to be reading this hopper here. And then that redstone is going to be powering this power rail here, and then it's going to be normal rails going that way, and a full solid block right here. Then we're going to knock out this block here. Then we're going to place in a trapdoor here, open it, close it, so we can go into crawling mode. Hold the crouch so we can come out here, and we're going to build onto this. We're going to take this all the way across the entire obsidian platform till we come out the opposite side. And then once we come to edge, we're going to carefully just add on 2 more without going out of crawling mode. And then we're going to connect this all up with some normal rails on this side. And then we're going to do normal rails on this side until we get to the last 2 slots. And these are going to be port rails. And then we can come back out of here and remove that trapdoor, and then place in a lever on this side over here that is powered to power those. Now we come in with the hopper minecart, which is going to go on top and go back and forth. So that any items that drop on top of this platform will get picked up, and then will get unloaded by the hopper minecart using this system. Now to start the farm, we're going to have to leave the end dimension and go back to the entrance end portal. Likes are always appreciated, and only you can give away your own like. Now that we're back here at the entrance end portal, you can either place down a whole bunch of light to stop the silverfish from spawning, or you can just break the silverfish spawner. And then we need to come in back over here, break these 3 blocks here, and then we're going to remove and break these 3 blocks here, as well as break and remove these blocks here. And then we're just going to fill in the rest. Now we're going to come in with a slab right here, and then a boat right in the center, and then we're just going to nudge it with our body until that boat is far enough back that we can place in a snow block here as well as here, then a pumpkin right here, and then we can just push this snow golem into the boat. Then we're going to come over here and build up here using some non-stone blocks. That way we can come in and place in a boat on top of this eye right here. Now we're going to come around looking for a silverfish to put into the boat. We can do this by looking for silverfish infested stone blocks in the floors or in the walls. And you can see this in the F3 by pointing at a block, and it'll say infested right here. Once you find one, you can just break it with your hands, and this will produce a silverfish. And then just walk over here, and it should follow you and stand on the backside and it should eventually come up here and try to get to you, but get stuck inside of the boat. You'll only want one silverfish inside, and you want to just make sure the boat is forward enough so that the snow golem starts to shoot. If it's not close enough, you can always hop into it and row it closer, and once the snow golem starts shooting, this will automatically send entities into the overworld, which will be resetting our obsidian platform. To turn it off, you can always hop into the boat and then just keep moving the silverfish completely backwards until when you leave it, the snow golem is no longer shooting snowballs. Now at this point, the farm is already running automatically over in the end dimension, as long as you're standing here loading these two guys. But to make it run without a player, we're going to have to press F3 plus G. We'll see the entire chunk that this entrance end portal is inside of. Luckily in this example here, the whole thing is in just one chunk. But if you see one of these lines here cut right down through the middle, just make sure to do it on the side that has the snow golem as well as the silverfish. And then what we're going to do is in the same chunk as these two guys, we're going to come in and place in a ender pearl chunk loader. We do this by breaking a total of 6 blocks going downwards. Then we're going to place in some soul sand down here, and then we're going to fill the whole thing up with water sources. You can do this by placing in some ice and then breaking it. Just make sure every single one of them is water sources. And then we're going to come in here and shoot down one ender pearl while standing near the center and facing straight downwards and then moving out of the way. And then this will automatically load the chunk as long as the player who threw it is online. If you want to do it without using any players online, you can use this crazy trick that I discovered almost 10 years ago where you can chunk load with nether portals. But this ender pearl method will work for most. We're going to come in here and just place in some blocks to protect our pearls and one over top like that. Now this whole chunk is automatically being chunk loaded so we can go into the end dimension, and even though we are over here, the overworld is still being loaded, meaning the snow golem is still being loaded and he is constantly mad at the silverfish, so he's constantly throwing in snowballs. And the snowballs are constantly coming through the obsidian platform, which is going ahead and clearing it off, thinking that it needs to keep it nice and clear so that when players come through, they don't end up inside of some endstone or end up falling into the void by the platform maybe possibly being removed by some player as a prank. And this also means it's going to tear down all the blocks that are inside of here and drop them in block form if it can, including our basalt. And you can see it all breaking right here, and then the hopper minecart is coming in underneath, picking them all up, and then coming over and unloading them, and this is where you come to pick up all of your items. And you can also turn off this hopper minecart system by coming over here, placing a lever and powering this torch right here, and this will stop this from constantly going back and forth. At any moment you can always turn it back on again. Now to prevent the snowballs from ending up in unloaded chunks and potentially causing lag, just come over here and place in some blocks so that the snowballs hit up against them and get destroyed. Make sure to put in this wall outside of the actual obsidian platform. And my simple farm here produces 12,000 basalt per hour. But if you want my faster yet simpler design that uses a pickaxe, then come in and use this design, which I'll link down below, getting you 72,000 basalt per hour. And if you want a faster machine, I have this automatic basalt farm that uses TNT, producing 144,000 basalt per hour. Now I even recently made a design that works in the overworld, as the lava is a little bit slower, which means it produces a little bit less items per hour. Now you can get away from using TNT by placing the machine here at the obsidian platform and have it auto mine, but it's better to just stack the simple design. I got 8 of them in here, and with this it produces over 90,000 basalt per hour, all without using any pickaxes, explosions, or players online. Now see how I designed an automatic farm for every single other item in the game of Minecraft with this playlist here. Thanks to my supporters past and present for making this video possible. Otherwise you guys can just share these videos with your favorite Minecrafter, as it's an easy way to support me for free. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye bye!